How powerful is Cox Fiber? Powerful enough to keep fans across the country in the action on the biggest game days of the year. Whether you're one of 65,000 fans at Allegiant Stadium or you're streaming the game at home with Cox Fiber from the company with America's fastest download speeds. Whenever it matters most, Cox keeps you connected. Limited availability in select areas. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data. Fixed median download speeds. US Q3 2023.
Hey, Mel. Bri here. Gotta work from home today because the whole family caught a nasty.
Daddy!
Hey, Mikey! If you're gonna puke, find the popcorn bowl! But my availability is 110%. Coincidentally, so is my fever. Kidding. Mel, I'm so cold but hot. But I'm gonna get you that budget just as soon as... Mikey! Popcorn bowl!
Press 1 to use Instacart and get your family's sick day essentials delivered in as fast as 30 minutes. Press 2 to keep working. Do not press 2. Just use Instacart, Brian.
Xavier Bell joins us, Wichita State guard. Shockers, as I said. A nice comeback win yesterday over SMU at Koch Arena. Before we talk basketball, Xavier, I'm always interested in the generation gap. Have you ever heard of Bad Company?
I have not.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I kind of thought that would be the answer, but I was going to be really impressed if you had. So coming off a game yesterday where you guys get a much-needed win, how much was that win needed?
Definitely. I think not only for our team, but just for the Shocker Nation as a whole. We've been in a little bit of a slump, but I think, just with the hard work that we've been putting in and day out, we were due for one soon. So I'm just glad we were able to pull that one out yesterday.
Well, what had it been like, the previous 8 games? I know you were so close in a lot of those games. You probably just got better from the competition you faced. So how close did you feel like you were going into yesterday's game?
We felt like we were really close. The last 8 games have definitely been tough. They haven't been any blowouts or anything. They've all been close losses, but like you said, we were able to learn from each and every one of those losses and, able to get better and just put together a good team win yesterday. So
Talking with Xavier Bell from Shocker Basketball. So this is, as I've long said, this is our city's major league team, Wichita State basketball. People ride their highs and their lows from what this team accomplishes or doesn't accomplish. So take us behind the scenes. How did Paul Mills handle that slump that we've talked about? Because it'd been a while since the Shockers won a game. What were you impressed about in his coaching during that time?
Definitely. Really just how committed and, sane he really was in the midst of, all the chaos going around as far as all these critics, a bunch of tweets going out, around and about us. Really just to see him come in each and every day and be the same, coach and person that he is and bring that energy, the right positive energy that the team needed at the time. Just to see that, it was super inspirational, not only for myself, but really just for the whole locker room, just to know that we have a coach who does believe in us and who is going to ride with us, no matter what, and either way it goes, we were going to pull ourselves out or dig ourselves deeper. And either way we were going to do it together. And just knowing that he was with us 100%, I think it just helped every single player, just continue to stick with each other through it all.
So the struggles kind of started when Cortez and DeGray became eligible, certainly not blaming them, but just pointing out the timing. Certainly it's coincidental. But at that time, there had to be some adjustments made. Guys got some minutes taken. You started maybe playing off the ball a little bit more, although you had a bunch of minutes yesterday at point guard. So what were those adjustments like to make as a team and then for you individually?
Definitely. Obviously, just implementing them back into, our day in and day out routine as far as running through plays, meshing those guys together. We were able to play with Ronnie DeGray a little bit out in Greece, but that was a little bit ago. So just having him around more and just seeing the energy that he brought day in and day out was super beneficial for us. And Bijan as well, he's a great passer, a really good point guard for us, and I think he does a really good job facilitating at times. So really just being able to adjust on the fly, it was all new and all chaotic, especially around the Christmas time with the NCAA going on trial and making the decisions that they made so quickly. But really just being able to adapt with it all and just, trying just to keep moving forward and just keep putting together, what it takes for us to build a win. And myself, obviously, going from starting to not starting, it didn't affect me too much, especially being a part of the team last year and not necessarily being a starter back then. But just looking at it as a perspective and, just still trying to find ways to be a positive energy and to have a positive impact for my team, whenever my number is called. So
Talking with Xavier Bell, Wichita State junior, out of Andover Central High School. Wanted to ask you about Harlan Beverly because he's really started to come along here. He's playing a very good basketball at 6'5". He's really capable of getting the ball to the rim. How much has his play improved, and how much are you guys planning to maybe ride him a little bit down the stretch?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. He's a great player, and he can finish around the rim. His hand-eye coordination is something like we haven't seen before. He's able to jump out the gym, and you wouldn't even know it. But just to see him and see his progression along just this whole season and just what he can bring to the team and just the energy that everybody feeds off of him has been super beneficial for us. And I think, moving forward, he'll definitely be a key role for us in our successes to come.
Do you notice anything that some of the Power 5 guys who've transferred in have in common? Beverly's one, Quincy Ballard, DeGray and Cortez both played in the Power 5. Is there something that those guys have in common, talent-wise, personality-wise, just anything that kind of ties that together, just, coming to play at Wichita State?
Mm-hmm. Really just the energy they bring on and off the court, just bringing great attitudes, creating great atmospheres, for guys around them to want to come in and continue to get better and love the game of basketball. They all love it. They all put in time outside of practice and whenever we're needed to be in the gym. So just seeing that and just seeing, the work ethic and how hard they practice day in and day out. It not only inspires myself, but, for the younger players as well, just to show them, you can be a Power 5 player and still produce at any level that you're at. So just seeing that and then just seeing the impact that they have on others around is super beneficial for us right now is what I would say.
Xavier Bell, our guest, you haven't played everybody in the American yet. You've still got some games left against teams you haven't played, like Charlotte, like Tulane, like UTSA, and UAB. What's your impression of this conference? Here we are in late January, and you've got 3 teams up there at the top with only 1 loss. We would have expected Florida Atlantic. I'm not sure we would have expected Charlotte or South Florida.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think it just speaks, volume to this whole conference. Anybody's beatable on any given night. It takes a whole team to win a game, and it's always going to come down to the wire. You're not going to have any blowouts. You're not going to have any, miscues, and teams are going to make you pay whenever you do make mistakes on the offense or defensive end. So really just how intact and really attention to detail oriented that you have to be in order to pull out a team win in this league for sure.
So I have to imagine that the win yesterday, kind of was obviously a relief, but it probably gave you a lot of confidence too, because SMU is one of the best teams in this conference. I think they were in the 30s in KenPom, so highly thought of. Do you think that could lead to a greater high than the lows were low? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. SMU is a great team, and they are pretty ranked highly, like you just mentioned. But I think it just speaks volume to, our program and the group of guys that we have. Definitely we didn't want to start out the conference play 0-6, but at the end of the day, it's not really how you start. It's about how you finish. And so being able to come out there yesterday and get that team win, especially against a tough team like that, I think it just shows, we are putting in the work, we are putting in the effort, and we're capable. So just knowing that and just knowing, these next couple games ahead and really just all these games ahead as far as in regular season conference play, we have a chance if we just stick together, play good team basketball for all 40 minutes. We can run with anybody in this league, I feel like. And so just knowing that, I think, yes, it does give us a certain level of confidence as well. But at the same time, we just got to, just keep stacking days and keep building on this for sure.
Shockers embarking on a road trip at Tulsa Wednesday night, at Memphis on Sunday, a noon game on CBS. Have you ever seen a team get hot like Memphis did in the second half in their game here? You guys probably thought you were going to come out in that second half and beat those guys, and then they just started shooting the absolute lights out.
Definitely. Yeah, that's one I have never seen a team shoot that well before. And credit to those guys, for making shots, because not all of them were wide open. They were all kind of contested or somewhat tried to alter, or somebody tried to alter the shots. But credit to them for, putting in the time in the gym and just being able to make those shots in those moments. And it was definitely tough in the moment for sure, though.
And they're 0-3 since that. So crazy game of basketball. Xavier, thank you so much. Good luck on the road trip, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
How powerful is Cox Internet? Powerful enough to keep fans across the country in the action on the biggest game days of the year. Whether you're one of 65,000 fans at Allegiant Stadium or you're streaming the game at home with America's fastest download speeds powered by fiber. Whenever it matters most, Cox keeps you connected. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial connection. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data. Fixed median download speeds. US Q3 2023.